Self-development, simply put, is a process of learning new things and building new skills. Gina Kali and Prudence Brooker, good morning and welcome
to the
show.
We're happy to be here.
Good morning.
Good to have you.
As always.
Today we're going to be talking about self-development. We live in a world where we're always encouraged to learn, unlearn, and relearn. You need to do that. And so in order for you to outgrow all of this, you need to continuously develop yourself by learning new skills, learning new things that are in line with self-development.
People live mostly in 2023 with outdated modalities. Things that are old in terms of application, in terms of things that we use now, they don't really have grips on the things that are trending now. So your approach to the current pattern of life and how it is administered, it will be old, it will be archaic, it will not be appealing to the new mind, the perception of today's perception and all that. So you have to keep evolving. You have to keep evolving. You have to keep moving with times. And sometimes when you see how our approach to things are, honestly, you will know that we have made a concerted effort. And a lot of things, even in every area of life, it is required that you keep transcending. It is required that you keep evolving. It is required that you keep developing. Because if you are not developed, you will not transcend. You will not evolve. Because it takes information for someone to do things differently. Because go to a church today, they will tell you, this is how we have been doing it. Please don't come and change anything. Sir, you are doing it this way because that is applicable to the matter at hand. But now, there are multiple ways of doing things. And see, some people misunderstand, even in church, what a doctrine is and what a revolution is. A doctrine does not change, right? Okay. What food has changed in Nigeria since you were born? Nothing is still right. But when you were 5, do you still see the dishes, the plates, the cups, the spoons that you were served when you were 5? Do you still see them now? No. The people who make these things have evolved. The human mind grows. So the human mind likes things that are more appealing. Yeah, the human mind likes things that are appealing, colors, shapes, and so we have to make a concerted effort to grow. We should not remain stagnant in whatever we do. And what I'm saying is in every area of life. If you are working, I'm beginning to talk too much, right?
No.
Okay. I'm reading your mind, so I read it wrongly.
So sure.
If you are working, they gave you a table, they gave you a computer, and then they gave you some pen and some paper. And then every day for 15 years, you came to work doing the same thing that you were asked to do. Nobody is changing you, is asking you to change the pattern of the organization, but they are asking you to be creative about the pattern of the organization. There are two different things. You came here, this is how this thing is done, this is how this thing is done, and then this is what we want you to do. And when you started doing it, you were doing it well. But the organization began to have problems with you. It's not because you are not doing your job, but because you are not being creative with what you are giving. So the organization will start thinking, this person is not productive. So you have to reminisce. When I was given this desk 2 years ago, what was I told? I was told that, okay, I'm going back to what I was told. But in that place, than you. You have to be innovative. You have to be creative. You have to be ideological, so that, progress can be seen in every ramification. People are in relationship, but from the first day they met till they got married, till they had kids, till they are training kids, till they fight, there's nothing new. There's nothing new. People have sour relationships and all of that because everything was a preset. It's a preset. It will still be a preset. You have to try things that are new. And crazy people are thinking I'm saying try new crazy things. No, I'm saying do things that are evolving so that your relationship can take a new dimension. Like once in a while, just swap roles. Okay, let me pay the bills for like another 2 years as a woman. Let's see.
That's the example.
Prudence.
Okay, all right. I'm not going to respond to that though, but let's just continue. No. Begins from your mindset. What are you thinking? What is driving you? What is your driving force? If your mindset is just let's just live life the way it comes, without actually focusing on the development or growth or leaving an impact, I think there will be no life. As the wind blows, that's how you go. But if you are determined that you want to be something, or you have vision, you have where you've pictured yourself to be, you have already you have a direction that you want to follow, and you're dedicated to that direction. If you don't have vision and you're not dedicated, I'm not the plant. You plant it into you pick the seed and you put it into the soil, and you just go back and sit down. You're not watering it. You're not doing nothing for it to grow. That's basically what you were doing to yourself. You will not grow. Okay, so yes, I'm already planted on earth. Something had to do with you being determined and deliberate, and if not, there's not going to be growth.
And it's still talking about self-development. I think it's a conscious effort. Like you have to deliberate. Places where there are trainings, like time to time they do trainings and that has that mindset of, oh, I want to grow beyond this level. For him, it is an opportunity. It's an opportunity. Have you come to the stage of knowing, oh, what purpose am I here for? What are my goals? And then how am I going to attain or achieve those goals? You can't sit down and then, oh, I'm doing business, and because I'm into hair making or I braid, and then I just sit at home and the stage of the new technology. When you see how before now, someone was sharing, she has one of the biggest business in Jos, and when I went to her place for an interview, so I was like, oh, fine place and all of that. Like I was thinking of the effort she put into it, and she said, forget about this glory. There's a story behind it. She talked about the fact that before the new tech, the advertising through social media and all of that, she goes to banks, she goes to offices, she has to wait for their closing time before she will go inside with her goods and all of that. But today, because the world is evolving, people are online. Like there's a community there where people buy, they sell and all of that. You hardly meet people physically, but you can order a product and the product will get to you because of new technology. And she said, today I have people that I interact with them that I don't even know them. People that buy things, they send money, I just go to the park, we build things for them and all of that. So think about it, they're into business and you just sit at home and say, business is not going, they tell you, can you advance in your business, employ the new technology, see how that you can put your product to the like social media communities and all of that, and you say, I don't think so that anything that will be is going to be, if God's hand is in your business, all those kind of things. People make statements to excuse their lack of interest in self-development. So I think it's going to be very important when people make this like a conscious effort to want to grow, have that mindset that, oh, beyond where I am in the next 1 year, in the next 6 months, in the next 5 years, this is where I want to be, and be deliberate about improving yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and then different spheres that you can think of. Just say to yourself, I don't want to remain where I am? And beyond saying it, what are the things that I need to do to improve myself? There are people that every day they read. They read daily. There are people that they spend hours, they have timed themselves, oh, each day I'm going to spend 2-3 hours learning new things on YouTube that has to do with their skills. And they improve. I was talking with a young man that said no month passes by without him reading a book.
There was something you said. I was noting some points in my imagination that, and I was deceiving myself that I would remember by the time you are done, because I didn't want to interrupt you. But you see, let me just try to see how I can explain that. You talked about this thing being a personal effort. And you talked about certain people like being trained in their places of work. But some people take the training seriously. Some people don't care. A friend of mine who's doing very, very well in his field of endeavor, he's doing very, very well. So he brought in someone from Lagos to do a training. He flew the person to Abuja to do a training for his staff. When the person came, he heard about him. Everybody was saying something, so they were walking to his office. Their generator set was heating up. It was overheating, so someone was fixing it. So he tried to go and see what they are doing because he was taking time. So on his way, he used the kitchen. They have this kitchen. So on his way, he heard two of their staff saying, is it this man that they went to waste money to bring to talk to us? What can he possibly tell us? We have watched his production. We have heard he has done this. He has done. Well, bring somebody that we will. But other people were shouting. Other people were anticipating. But these people were busy criticizing what someone... this guy that brought these people, right? He doesn't have anything to learn from that person. He looks up to him, truly, but he doesn't have anything to learn from him. But he felt, these people that are working with me, I need them to have this particular kind of orientation. So let me bring this person. Flew him in to and fro, kept him in a hotel, fed him, and he was thinking of what to honor him with, so that people can be better and it will reveal and manifest in the product that they intend to bring at the end. But someone is saying, what does this guy have to offer to us? So they did the training. These guys were skipping the sessions. A summary of what Mr. Fidelis said throughout his stay for 3 days in Abuja. I don't need you in this production. They said, no, sir. You see, it's not so. We know him. We have worked with him. He said, no, that's it has nothing to do with this organization. You knowing him has nothing to do with this organization. Do you know what? He kept them outside of the production. Today, 2 years per day. Do you know what the least paid person does? Clean. When you eat something, you throw it, they pick it up. 70,000 per day. They were on location for, I think, 2 months, 8 days or so. Multiply that by 70. Joyce is intentional when you see people not growing. Corner in this world. Except if you chose not to grow, you want to remain where you are. You see these devices that we hold, you are holding the whole world in your palm, but all you do is chat, look for new dress, look for people that are posting content so that you will laugh, and look for all of that. But you are not looking for things that you will do for other people to patronize. You see the difference? See, development is in different phases. Joyce, you can develop yourself spiritually.
Yes.
It has its gains. You can develop yourself materially. It also comes with rewards. You can develop yourself in the area of education. You can educate yourself more. It's not what you did in school. People have paid their way through, have failed. Now think about it. Even if you paid your way through, is this not the time that you have graduated? Is this not the time that you are supposed to pay back on your negative orientation? People don't give us the reality of the picture that is ahead of us. People don't hand us such notes. They just tell you, work hard, study hard. Riches in the whole world over is no longer having a good car and a beautiful house. No. Do you have freedom in your mind? Do you have liberty? Are you free? Do you have freedom from health? Do you have freedom of health? Do you have freedom of health? Do you? So, if you gather everything in this life, you have not educated yourself about the things that you require to live this life. Go and meet all the rich people in this world and ask them, now that you have this money, then what? You think Dangote is satisfied where he is? No, he's not happy. He's the richest man in just one continent out of how many of the world? There are 7 continents, right?
Yes.
He's just one. What happened to the other 6? You think he doesn't want to be the richest man in all these continents? Then look at how long it took him to become the richest man in Africa. How long will it take him to become the richest man in the world? It's not bound by a duration of time. People sit down and expect salary. It doesn't go anywhere. Go and meet salary earners and ask them, how far does salary go? Okay, you are salary earner. We are all salary earners. How far does salary go?
First week.
Wow. Yours goes too far. Yours 2 weeks. Wow, 3 weeks.
Sometimes a day.
A day.
Depends on what.
You have spending habits.
Healthy spending.
You know, you have. I didn't say it. I said you have spending habits. I didn't say negative or positive. But you see, some people don't get to enjoy a dime from their salary because they collect it to pay all the things that they have collected. It's debts. Debts upon debts upon debts. So you see somebody earning 40,000 school fees. At the end, house rent. But you corrected this. You borrowed this money so that you can be able to pay for food and transport to work. That is it. No medicals, no nothing. So people must be intentional about their income. There are 4 streams in the Garden of Eden. When God made, what shocks me about this was it was God that said, in case one dries up. So God knows. God has the ability to think that things feed red too. Yes, things feed red. They feel red. Just okay. We're not allowed to speak this kind of English here. We're not allowed, but who said the rules? So you see, you have self-development is important. Self-development is important. You have to think about yourself. You have to think about how you want to develop. You have to think about a lot of things. A lot of things. I have a relationship. How do I develop it? Okay, I'm out of relationship. How do I develop myself? So that when I get into another relationship, I'll be better and not make such mistakes that I made in the other one. I have this amount of money in my bank account. How do I develop it to give me 3 times, 4 times that amount? But we don't think. We live life on the default. Move down to eat. I watched a comedy. It was a comedy or a reality, I don't know. Someone was asked something. They asked him a question. They say, please, just give me food first. Give me food first. When you are always thinking of food will always come. When you eat, you will sleep. The Bible says a little sleep, a little slumber. And Kisa May Joyce. Okay, we're also not allowed to speak this. You also know what? This one, it can be sleep and slumber. unhealthy relationship, it can be sleep and slumber. Using precious time to do useless things is also sleep and slumber. When it is time, how many hours do you commit to investment on a regular? Some people don't. People just wake up in the morning. What is channel showing? They tuned in TV. Let's go to AIT. They tune. There's nothing on TV. Let me go to YouTube. Before you know it, 8 hours of your day is gone. Visit them at home. Prudence, how are you doing? I hate that statement. I hate it, ma. That means even if I get you the job, you won't do well. Go and look for it. People who are looking for jobs, they know where to find it. Go and look for it. You are lying down watching production of 8 hours. You can't go out and look for stuff. Joyce, have you ever seen a shop that they wrote sales girl wanted? How many times?
I've seen it.
You can't count.
You can't count. So if you are at home lying down, how can you see a post like that? You need to wake up.
I think it has more to do with the laziness and pride and all of that. That's some of the factors that is contributing.
No, it has a lot to do with parents' foolishness. It has a lot to do with parents' foolishness. That's how I see it. Because that's how I see it. How can you be at home? I have a lot of people who come to my office or even call me. Do you know what they say, Joyce? GM, kan wanka fata graduate yau shekara uku kenan ba aiki, ku taimake ta mana. I don't even know the person, but he's calling his daughter my younger sister, which is fine. That's how we talk in Africa, right? Your younger sister today is 3 years old. She has graduated. She's just sitting at home for 3 years. Now, Prudence is planning to make her hair tomorrow. And there are no people making hair. There are few. How many hair, what do you call people who plait?
Hairstylists,
Who weave.
hairdressers.
There's a name they call them. People who weave, there's a name they call them. Okay, you don't know. Okay. Okay. How many people do you know who do that compared to people who don't know how to do it, but they need someone to do it for them? Must we all be rich by working in the bank? Must we all be rich by going to the courthouse as a lawyer? So you don't have to be on TV. You can sell us clothes, we will buy. People that work on, we use shoes. We buy hair that is not our own to use. You understand stuff like that? We cut our hair. We buy products. We want to look good. Think about it. Now, if you see me on TV and you said, Tony Nakale, I'm thinking, I have a boutique. I want to clothe you for all your shows, but just make sure you mention me as your designer and my address and all that. Use the shirts. That's how they do in America. You use the shirt, you leave the tag on, you wear it, at the end, they take it back to the store and sell it. Nobody knows anybody has used it. I've seen a lot of people doing shows like that. You just go to a boutique, you pick 5, 1 for each day. If not, if you want to appear every day, so you have 365 clothes a year. Do you get what I'm saying? There are people who appear on TV every day. So what do? You have to be innovative in your thinking. You have to be innovative. You work here. You don't come to work on Saturday. You don't come to work on Sunday in most cases. What do you do with these 2 days? These 2 days. You know what people say? Tomorrow, if I go home today, if I start sleeping, even church on Sunday, I don't think I'll go. Have you heard people say that? A little sleep, a little slumber. I want you, if you have not learned anything on this show today, think about a little sleep, a little slumber, and a little folding up of hands. Yes. The Bible says the enemies, the poverty settles down.
It means if you're not developing yourself, you're inviting poverty.
Of course, of course. Thank you, Joyce. That's what brought about this. They have ministries that are supposed to support the development of the state.
Deliberate action, because if you're not involved in learning new things, building skills, or changing that mindset you have, you just remain where you are. I've heard and I've seen people who say, oh, I'm a graduate, I read this, I read that, I have this qualification and that qualification. When did you graduate? 5 years ago. And then somebody that doesn't even have that qualification has a skill that he has consciously created time to learn, that you, that is a graduate, and as good as that is, beyond the four walls, beyond that paper qualification, you need skill. Beyond that paper qualification, you can't sit down and be bragging, oh, I have this qualification, you cannot do anything. That's why we have people like so many graduates out there. You go for an interview, you are unable
They're
to.
even becoming frustrated.
You can't answer the questions.
Joyce, can I frustrate you? Can I interrupt you?
Please don't frustrate me.
Can I interrupt you? Can I interrupt you for a second?
Go
and
ahead.
you go back to your point. Please keep your points back on your mind. I know a pastor who makes $8,000 every week on YouTube. He teaches love with his wife on YouTube. Joyce, tell me the kind of church in Nigeria that can give you $8,000 every week. He makes a total of $32,000 a month just talking to people about love. Some pastors will think that is not a skill. But while you are thinking, he has 10 times your yearly budget. You see, Joyce, we cannot sit in one place and be doing things, even stopping us from progressing. If not, look at this today's life. You can rebrand today's life and make even more than what that man is making. But there are walls you fail to develop in an organization is even understood because there are policies that might be against such moves. But as an individual, I am a good example of that, Joyce. And I can stand anywhere to say, as an individual, I have skills that give me money. I have spoken to I'm saying beginning of this year also. They said, if we went about this thing, it's not working here that gave me. But you see, after I did that, I now said, how do I invest this to be 10 times what it is? I was expecting to be paid, but I was not expecting it will come this way and this much. You have to develop, I have told Equa Television staff several times, you have to develop another skill that you can be doing, like a side hustle that does not necessarily take your time. Some people do it. Some people think, with this work that he gives us, where will we get time? Right now, I'm writing 3 magazines. 3. It doesn't, I use my time when I close from work. I don't have a closing time actually, but when I close from work, I go home or go somewhere else and do one page of this and do one page of this, and then I leave it there so that my mind can also think when I wake up in the morning. Sometimes I type on my phone, sometimes I do. So I'm maximizing time so that I can maximize my income. It's a skill.
Well, earlier on, when you need 29 days or 30 days of, I don't live on death, and death. Now this is the reason, because I have a side craft. I can just get the salary today and invest it in it. Age. And then just in of developing yourself. So while I was talking earlier on about how that some people say, I have been in this for 50 years, for 20 years, for 10 years, this is how it has been. And you're not thinking of, you just sit and such class of people keep criticizing the people that are out there growing. If you're developing yourself, you won't even have time for criticism, like destructive criticism, or in a month I will read this book. And what time would you have to look at another person that is busy developing yourself to criticize? So there are people that, because they criticize social media, like taking, for those people that take advantage, like don't come to church, but when you check their phones, you're not happy that you have members within your church that are not coming to church, but they
Step up your game.
Can you take advantage of the new tech as well? Step up and start taking advantage of it.
But that was like a punishment for me while I was growing up, because I was a very lazy child. That's
You were a very lazy child.
that's an honest
When did you stop being lazy?
confession.
At what age?
Maybe senior class. I was always
Senior class is not an age.
Like I
About.
I love my sleep. And I don't like when they tell me to stand up and do something. I want to do everything at my convenience. And that alone can be a problem because you need to leave laziness. I don't know how to explain it for you to fully understand what I mean, but there was a way I reacted to a lot of things that right now, as I'm looking back, I know that this should have not been a behavior if I really wanted to grow. And so when I started reciting that verse, I never understood the full meaning of it. But later on, it got to me that what it means is that it's not literally eating, it means growing. It means that I'm not going to, the income, if I'm not working towards something, I might not just get what I need at that time. If I'm not giving my energy towards growing, if I'm not giving my energy towards developing, then I'm not going to. And at the end of the day, people have gone to universities and all, but then this person is blossoming, this person is growing, is developing so fast, and the other person is just behind. Sometimes it's circumstance, yes, but other times it is self-imposed. You probably did not even put your energy towards learning to build yourself. You have a very one that you like to say. You tell yourself, okay, I'm just in the world to escort people. Then you would escort people to the day you die. There will be no growth. You just grow in escorting. So that's why earlier on I mentioned that for me, self-development begins with your mindset. You need to have a mindset that is open to development. If it is spiritual, you need to have a mindset that is open to developing spiritually. Because if you're not channeling your energy to developing spiritually, you're not going to develop. If it is physically, it's the same thing. Your development is from your mind. You can't grow without you learning. Learning is an important element of life. You learn from the day you are born to the day you are dying. That's when you stop learning.
I was conversing Prudence with someone, and he said, I love money. Because I was trying to talk about, what do you do? And then the skill aspect of your profession or your course that you've studied, how you can utilize it and learn and be better. And he said, because I don't like the imagination of being poor, and because I love money, whatever that will bring him money, like the right way, he makes sure that he finds his hand doing it in line with his profession. If editing will bring him money, then he should put more effort in it. Like he should learn, if he's an editor, what are the new things that are in editing, that because every day new things come up, how can he be better? And that's he always tries to do that. He tries to check, what is new, and what is new. But you find out that there are people that is not the focus. It is always like you said earlier on, what's the new style? From the conversation, you know that the person is not even like, the interest is not even in personal development. This is the latest movie. Do you have this series season 1 to this? Do you have this style? Have you seen this style? Like, it's all about that.
And you know what's interesting is that for this person that is focusing on the styles or the movies, when you ask this person, what did you learn after watching this movie?
No.
What did you see out of what did you pick out of the movie you just watched? There's nothing. The person was just wasting time. For someone who is watching a movie, he might be like, oh no, I love the editing. This person, the way they did this, it was just awesome. The transition from this scene to this scene was great. That person is learning. But another person just watches it to while away time. For somebody, it's just a form of relaxation, and that's important. You need to relax at some point. But just know that when you're relaxing, it doesn't take over the time that you need to invest.
So from our conversation, obviously, yeah, self-development, personal development gives you an edge. It keeps you at the top. You can't.
It makes you a solution to a need.
Yes.
Always. When you are on top of your game, you are always providing solution. You will always be looked for.
True.
Always smart. I don't know where, I don't know on your area, on the way to your area, or in your area, you have people who park cars and they advertise all sort of herbal medications and all of that. If these things work, these people will hide. If these things are really a solution to all the sicknesses that they mention, they will hide, because if people find them, they will tear them to get the drug. They will bring out one small drug and tell you that it cures 50 diseases. Yet there are people with like 2 or 3 of these diseases, but they are helpless in the hospitals. Yet these drugs, you are struggling to sell them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes, but there are people like you know, some stylists, maybe hairstylists or fashion designers. There are some of them, if you don't book them for the next 3 months, you can't get. They are providing solution as at when due.
Exactly.
If you know, there is something about, let me say this here, if you are watching, gift and talents don't bring money. Gift and talent don't bring money. You can argue it if you like, it's fine. How many talented people do you know in this world, in your area? How rich are they? They're still living with their parents. It's idea that brings money. It's not the gift that brings money, it's the idea that brings money. Everybody is trying to sell a gift. Everybody is trying to sell a talent and a gift. Nobody wants to buy it. How many people can sing? How many people with good voices, you know?
There's so many.
How come they are poor? What does Burna Boy do?
He sings.
Do you think it's singing that gives him money? No, it's the ideas that he has that is topping up on his singing. So when you sit down and say, me, I have good voice, and somebody just picks you up and say, I want to manage this guy, I want to pump in money. 2 years later, they are fighting, they are not even talking. Because they put money on the wrong thing. Talent and gift, they are not a fertility ground. Until you understand that, you will wonder why you have not made money. Talent and gift is not a fertility ground. It is the idea that is the fertility ground. Now, you will wonder, as somebody that learned how to sew and can sew, that's a gift. She's making money. Why is the other tailor not making money? It's her idea. She is punctual. That is an idea. Do you understand? Because it is a pre-existing craft. She is punctual. If she tells you Tuesday by 4, but thing is how it will come out. And it comes out that way. It's not what I ordered / what I got. 2 different things, worlds apart. No. Madam, go and check the people that are rich the most in this world. What did they sell? What did they offer? What are they offering that other people are not offering? Today, Microsoft is leading in terms of computer access, computer systems, softwares, and all of that. When I was doing computer engineering at Bingham University, they mentioned other names of software developers. Oh, wow, wow. So I have more knowledge to add to what these things. That is what gives money. People don't buy gift. People don't buy talent. People buy ideas.
Indeed, people buy ideas, and I think it's important that people look inward and start focusing on how they can better themselves by
Joyce,
learning
Michael
things.
Jackson sold I'm sorry we are calling these people's name, but is a show. Michael Jackson sold 1 million copies of Thriller, I think 2 weeks after it was released. Who cannot play that? Anybody can play that simple thing. But what is the idea behind it? The graveyard, people coming out, this one bringing hand from. That was what people bought, not the song. Not the song. But we don't understand. Anything we bring, if we don't have people watching Ekwa TV now, is not because they don't like Ekwa TV. It's because of our idea. Out and do a book and say we are selling this. Is the idea behind the book that they will not buy. Not that the book is. So you start developing yourself, right? Self-development begins with you thinking apart with these few words of mine.
Thank you. Prudence, how can people focus on the inward and then see how they can better themselves?
I keep saying that it is a mindset. You need to work on your mindset first. If you don't think that you are valuable to grow and develop, if you don't think that you're valued to add value to your community, if you're not thinking that I am so important that I can do something that would be relevant to my country, to my state, to my generation, then you would not grow. You will not develop yourself. You will just stay stagnant. So it is important that we actually work on our mindset. Think, I am of worth. I have something to give to my generation. If not, God would have not to work on. So if you're focusing on that purpose, finding that purpose, knowing what that purpose is, and knowing that you have an impact that you need to give to the community, if you're focused.
Just get your final thoughts before.
My final thought is this. Who do you want to be? What is your income threshold? Do you want to make $2,000 every month? It's possible. It's possible. Now somebody's watching, is this man that is talking, does he make 2,000? I may not need that. I may not need that. Even 1,000 naira. People say the economy is bad, Joyce. Do you hear that?
Yes.
Do you know that in the same Jos there are places that you go to that Coca-Cola is 500?
Yes.
There are other places that you go to that Coca-Cola is 1,000.
Yes.
There are people that are still traveling to Abuja so that they will drink Coke at 2,000 where it is conducive for them. It is not the product. It's the same Coca-Cola taste. But it is the value of the place that sells the Coca-Cola that makes it that particular amount. In the same Jos that people complain they don't have transport to even go to town and come back and see if they can get something. Someone is drinking Coca-Cola at 1,000 every day comfortably. And you know our mentality. A person that needs help sleeps more than his helper. 1,000 naira clothes more than the helper. Joyce, maybe they cheated this one. No, he knows. He knows. But he knows that, okay, look at Peter Obi when he was contesting. That's up, right? Choir mistress is not up yet, so we have time. He said the shoe is meant to protect your feet from getting spoiled when you walk. 2,000, I don't buy shoe, I wear.
Okay. Are you done?
Okay, in other words, I was lying on TV, right? It starts with what you want to become. Then you develop yourself towards that thing that you want to become. You develop yourself. It's not an easy period to live in. But you see what? Before long, Joyce, Prudence, before long, you start living above your equals. You start making some sort of impacts. And people will say, this one has joined Yahoo. No, it's not Yahoo. There are so many rich young people in this country. You have developed yourself to that level. You need nothing but just your computer and just power. That is it. So if you want to develop yourself, we have told you at least Please sit down. We have told you at least how to develop end the show so that some people can sit down for us in the studio.
Thank you so much for doing this with me. Like personal development is very important. It gives you an edge. It improves your self-esteem, your self-awareness. It develops your skill. The Bible says, having seen a man's skill, he will serve before kings, not before mere servants. So endeavor to create time to build yourself every time on learning, relearning and unlearning. And that way you're going to be looked for, not you looking out for. Until we come your way tomorrow, same time, you have a great day.